Hello and welcome to Samu Oron's channel. Today I would like to address the topic of lies with you. It is an exceedingly complex topic, multifaceted and not solely related to humans. In 6 parts, I will shed light on this topic. I would like to begin with the following story. 2 people walk a mile together. One says to the other, "That was a short distance." The other one then says, "That was a very long way." The person who perceives this mile as short says to the other, "You're exaggerating. It was only a mile and that's not long." In response, the other person said, "You're crazy. A mile is very long for me." From this simple everyday example, one can already see how quickly a truth that has arisen from feeling is branded as a lie. The truth is, however, there are 3 truths. 1, a mile is a mile, a measure set by humans, it is neither longer nor shorter. 2, for one person, a mile is a short distance, and therefore overcoming it is not a remarkable achievement. 3, for another person, a mile can be a great hardship, indeed, an almost insurmountable distance. I deliberately chose this simple example for this complex topic because right from the start, I want to familiarize you with one of the main causes of lies. It is the personal perception of things, circumstances, and situations. It is important to consider this factor in our reflections so that prejudgments and blame assignments, that is, negations, do not take up too much space in this all-too-natural process. Similarly, trivializations or even thoughtless exonerations must not be given any space, as this would give too much leeway to the wrongdoing. The only way to make a clear distinction in this jungle of webs of lies is to search for explanations for the background of this behavior. Our natural environment has a whole arsenal of lies, or rather, deceptions. We know it from the animal and plant world, which use these strategies for survival. As an example, the peacock is mentioned here, which, with its fan of feathers, assumes an oversized appearance to deter enemies or to impress peahens. In the plant world, for example, arum plants and orchids use their chemical substances to suggest to insects the presence of food sources and even potential mating partners, which of course do not exist. Ultimately, the insects pollinate these flowers through this deception without receiving what they hoped for. These deceits are so perfect that for millennia, insects have repeatedly fallen for these lies. These 2 simple examples undoubtedly prove that deceit and fraud are common strategies in flora and fauna. However, these behaviors are part of a very complex survival strategy that ultimately promotes the diversity of creation. People of earlier times observed and successfully employed these strategies from their natural environment. For example, they adorned themselves with foreign feathers, imitated animal sounds, or rubbed themselves with plant and animal substances to mask their own scent. They did all this to protect themselves from predators, or to increase their hunting success. Of course, deception also played a special role in the social development of humans, which has been preserved to this day. Here, the key word to make oneself attractive for someone should be mentioned. Many industries thrive on this, such as the cosmetic industry or so-called aesthetic surgery. Especially in today's times, many people no longer know what is of natural or unnatural origin. Not infrequently, a morning glance at the other person reveals the astonishing effects cosmetic products can have. Many may have already experienced shocking moments that likely led to great disappointment because they were deceived by the other person and their own senses. Can we simply talk about lies here? Aren't we dealing with a natural behavior pattern here? I assume that there is always a certain degree of what is permissible. One example would be making oneself beautiful for oneself, that is, using various means and effects to adjust one's appearance to one's personal ideal. Another matter is whether I consciously want to deceive someone else with this behavior. For example, disguises or surgical procedures that completely change a person's essence to pursue personal ambitions can be mentioned here. At costume parties and similar events, such transformations on an external cosmetic or clothing level are quite appropriate, but in real life, they are rather questionable. I do not wish to delve into the topic of women dressing as men and men dressing as women here, as this matter has various societal, social, and psychological backgrounds that are extremely complex and require closer examination, even though they certainly belong to the theme of deception and lies. But let us consider that even in ancient Egypt, Queen Hatshepsut wore an artificial beard to fulfill her societal role as pharaoh in the eyes of the public. So here we have the factor of power, which we can also notably observe in Queen Elizabeth I. I recommend everyone to take a closer look at the self-representations of this woman. They clearly reveal the depths of human deception. End of part 1. If you liked the content of the video, feel free to like and share the video with friends. If you would like to support my work, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and be blessed.